What's up, YouTube? How's it going today? Hope everyone's having a great day and is enjoying this warm weather. For myself, I am out here to film what is actually the second video to my two-part video campaign for the Arpha E22 10-inch rear view mirror dash cam system. On the first video, we actually showed the steps it takes to install this system in two different options, as well as went through all its features and functionality, and then I gave my overall thoughts and opinions. If you have not seen that video, I highly recommend that you go check it out because that video is solely focused on the Arpha E22, where this video is going to be a little different and it's going to be featuring two products. For today's video, what we're going to be doing is doing a comparison video between the Arpha E22 and the Wolfbox G840S. The reason I'm doing this type of video is because I know there are a lot of different brands out there that are selling similar products to these. And unfortunately, there just isn't a lot of content out there that helps you determine which one to purchase. So I figured because I have these two, I'll do this type of comparison video so that you can see how these two do side by side, and hopefully the information that I show will help you determine which one to purchase for yourself. How we're going to do this today is we're actually going to focus on three different categories or sections. First one is going to be a general section where we'll go over the general information about each device, looking at its specs, looking at what it comes with, and look at what also is available for it. The next section that we're going to take a look is actually the screen and its features and functionality. So we'll go through what each of the screen has to offer and what's built into it. And then the last section is going to be for the camera, where we'll take a look at how the camera performs and the image quality that it offers. So at this point, let's go dive into the first section and see how these two compare.
So first, we're going to take a look at the Arpha E22 10-inch wide rear view mirror dash cam system. This system is listed for $129.99, but as you can see here, it is currently on sale for $119.99. The main features for this item are the fact that it comes with a 2K camera quality, it has built-in Wi-Fi, it offers a 170-degree wide field of view, it has voice control and voice recording, it has a night vision, it has built-in G sensors, it has parking monitoring modes, and loop recording. This system has an integrated front-facing camera that offers 2K resolution and a separate rear-facing camera that offers 1080p resolution. This screen is a 10-inch wide mirror that has touch capability. It also has the ability to switch to different views, so you can see the front only, the rear only, or a dual feature where you see both the front and the rear camera at the same time. This system also has park assist guidelines, which can either be manually turned on and off or automatically triggered by wiring in a sensor wire to your reverse lights so that the lines will turn on when you put the vehicle into reverse. This system also has built-in Wi-Fi, which gives you the ability to access and view the content you have captured with the system through your phone using the Arpha app. Like all the systems out there, this system offers loop recording, which is where the system will automatically overwrite old content to give you the ability to record new content. For nighttime driving, this system has WDR technology, which gives you a nice clear image in dark environments. As mentioned, this system has G sensors integrated into it, which gives the system the ability to automatically record content when it senses an impact. The system also has time-lapse recording, which can be engaged for all recordings or mainly for parking monitoring. The system has the ability for time-lapse recording, which gives you the ability to record a long period of time in just a short recording. Because of the G sensor and the time-lapse recording, there are actually two modes for parking monitoring. One is the mode that uses the G sensor, where the system will turn on and record an event when it senses an impact or a disruption in the vehicle. The second mode is a time-lapse parking mode, which is where the system will actually record 24 hours of time-lapse content after you left the vehicle. As you saw in the first video, this system is very easy to install in any vehicle. This system comes with a 10-inch wide mirror dash cam. It has a rear camera with a mounting bracket and 6 meters of cable. It includes cable clips and a pry tool. It includes a micro USB 12 volt DC car charging cord. It includes an anti-glare screen film, a cleaning cloth, user manual, and 4 rubber fasteners for mounting the dash cam mirror on your stock mirror. So there are a couple things that are not included with this kit. First is the micro SD card, which you will need to record content on this system. Next is a GPS antenna. Even though the system has a GPS antenna port and GPS capabilities in it, this item did not include the antenna with it. The system also does not include a hard wiring kit, but none of the systems typically include that. That is usually something you would have to purchase separately. One of the downfalls to the Arpha brand is that when you go to their Amazon storefront, you'll see that in their dash cam section, they do not have any accessories available for their systems. They just have a bunch more systems that they offer, but no accessories. This is kind of disappointing because if you are looking for a hardware kit, you won't be able to purchase it from them and you'll have to find one on Amazon that will work with the system. Luckily, there are a bunch available and all you have to do is find a micro USB option and you'll be good to go. This is also disappointing because if you need replacement parts like an anti-glare screen film, you are not able to purchase it directly from them and you'd have to actually contact them to figure out how to get one. Nor, if you wanted to purchase the GPS antenna to go with this system, you can't acquire one from them. I'm sure you could find one on Amazon if you looked hard enough, but it's disappointing that there just isn't one available. Now let's take a look at the Wolfbox G840S 12-inch wide 4K rear view mirror dash cam system and see how it compares to the Arpha E22. The listed price for this system is actually $197.99, but as you can see, it is also listed on sale for $119. Typically, I find that Wolfbox products are usually listed as on sale. This might just be a marketing technique to appeal to consumers to make them want to purchase it, but usually I don't see it actually at its listed price. So the features that Wolfbox has highlighted for their G840S are the fact that it has a 4K camera quality with a 1080p rear camera. It is a 12-inch wide touchscreen. For some reason they listed that you have the ability to vertically flip the image on your camera. Then they've listed that it has GPS tracking, which the Arpha E22 did not come with, even though it had the ability to add it. They've listed that they have super night vision. They also have an integrated G sensor. They have reverse aid lines and then parking monitoring. The main difference about this unit is that it's a 12-inch wide screen and not a 10-inch wide. Wolfbox is also stating that they have a wide field of view. They're stating that they have 170 degrees on the front camera and 140 degrees on the rear camera. We are actually going to be testing this out in the third section of this comparison video because what we'll be doing is showing a side-by-side of the range of view of both of the systems. Wolfbox has highlighted a few of the additional features here. First is a 2-channel replay. This is where the system will actually record the front and rear camera at the same time. This isn't actually a unique thing to their system. A lot of the units that are available do this already, so I'm not sure exactly why they highlighted this. They also highlighted that the rear camera is adaptable. I'm not really sure what that means, but from the looks of it, it means that you have the ability to set up the camera however you like at the back of your vehicle, and then you can either decide to mirror flip the image or vertically flip the image to configure the system so that it sits perfectly depending on how you've mounted the camera. The next thing they've stated is that their system has the ability to withstand a wide range of temperatures. This is cool to know, but I'm not sure if a lot of people are looking for this. They've also stated here that they have super night vision because of the advanced WRD and HDR technology that they have in their cameras. But from what I've seen, this is quite questionable. And we'll show this in the later sections. And then of course, they also include time-lapse recording that can be used for 24-hour parking monitoring. Similar to the Arpha E22, this system also has a G sensor built into it, which gives the system the ability to automatically start recording in the event of an impact or disruption in the vehicle. This system also has video recording, where it will overwrite old files to give you the ability to record new ones. Unlike the Arpha E22, this one does include a GPS sensor and a GPS antenna, giving you the ability to record your speed and directions during your recordings. Unlike the Arpha E22, the Wolfbox G840S does not come with Wi-Fi, so it does not have the ability to communicate with a phone app. This kit includes the following items: a 4K 11.8-inch mirror dash cam system, a GPS antenna and a cord. They've listed here a 3M adhesive. I'm not sure why they have mentioned this, because I do know that the adhesive pad is already on the bracket that comes with the rear camera. So this really is an additional item. They've listed that it comes with a USB-C 12-volt DC power cable. It has your rear camera cable as well as the rear camera, which, as mentioned, comes with a mounting bracket. Unlike the Arpha E22, this system comes with a 32 gigabyte micro SD card. This system has 2 mounting straps. It has 1 pry tool and a user manual. As you can see, this kit comes with a few items that the Arpha E22 did not come with. In particular, the GPS antenna and the micro SD card. And similar to the Arpha one, you can see that this kit also does not come with a hardwiring kit. One of the items that is not included in this kit that the Arpha E22 had was the anti-glare screen film. Luckily, one of the perks about the Wolfbox brand is that on their Amazon storefront, they actually have a section that is dedicated to accessories for their dashcam systems. In here, you can actually find longer rear camera cords. So if you have a longer vehicle, you can easily purchase one here. They also have wiring kits designed for their systems, which is great because it takes the guessing game out of figuring out if the one you're going to buy on Amazon will actually work with your system, because now you can just simply come and buy it from the brand that sold you the dashcam system. They also have some additional brackets, some additional rear view cameras, which gives you the ability to actually upgrade your camera in the event that you don't like the camera that came with it. They also have some replacement parts. For example, the mounting straps. If you break a strap, you can easily come here and purchase another one. Oh, another one. I did notice here that they do not have the anti-glare screen film, nor the OEM bracket. I know that they do have them available, but they're just some reason not listed on their storefront. As you can see, Wolfbox does have a 12-inch anti-glare screen film. I'm not sure why it was not listed on their Amazon storefront, but you can easily purchase it from here. I'm also not sure why it was not included with the kit. This should have been something that just came with it. As you can see, this is the Wolfbox OEM bracket that was not listed on their website, and this is designed to work with a bunch of their systems.
So the second category of comparison that we're going to take a look at is the physical screen/mirror, and we're going to start with the Arpha E22. The first thing we're going to do is take some measurements so that we can compare them to each other. So the physical dimensions of the Arpha E22 are 10 inches by 2.5, but that is the actual size of the unit. The display surface is a little smaller because there's this little bezel or trim on the inside of the mirror. So the display surface, or the screen itself, is actually 9 inches by 2.5 inches. This isn't that bad. It's actually kind of acceptable, and you really do need a bit of a trim when you're these type of devices. As you can see here, this screen has somewhat of a blue tinge to it. This only really shows up when the screen is off. When you have the screen engaged and turned on, you don't see a blue tinge in your image and everything looks clear. I've also already gone ahead and applied the anti-glare film. And as you can see, it somewhat does its job. It definitely disrupts the image and it's not crystal clear. And it does help at stopping some reflection. This isn't as aggressive or as strong, and we'll see that on the Wolfbox one, which seems to have a better one, but this is definitely in the acceptable range. One of the things I want to note about these films is, of course, when applying them, you can never really get them perfect, and you end up with little air bubbles or little pieces of dirt. And luckily, none of those really show up when the screen is on, but I know they're there and they're kind of disappointing. I really would have liked that they had just made the screen itself have an anti-glare finish rather than having to apply a film. So on the bottom of the mirror, you have your power button and your 2 microphone input collection areas. On the top, you have your micro USB power input. You have your AV input, which is for your rear camera. You have your micro SD slot, and then you actually have a GPS antenna slot. Even though this unit does not come with that antenna, you can still actually purchase one and add it to the system if you want to engage the GPS features. On the back, we have our front-facing camera, which also comes with a slide-out feature, which is needed because this is only a 10-inch mirror. So if you are attaching this to a stock mirror with the rubber bands, you would need to pull that out to apply it to a regular 8-inch mirror. To attach this using the rubber tabs, there actually would have been some tabs located right here. I've actually gone ahead and cut them off because what I did on the back here is I customized it to give it a more OEM finish and attached a bracket to the back. If you want to see how I did this, make sure to go check out my first video where I show the steps to glue this on. It's kind of disappointing that this unit does not give you the ability to be able to apply a bracket without doing this customization. It's very limited, but the way that they have designed it does work and does give you the ability. But for someone like myself, this unit does require customizations to achieve it. Overall, this unit is well built. It seems very good quality. It seems like it's built to last, and I definitely have no complaints about the construction. So what we're going to do is go ahead and take a look at the Wolfbox G840S and see how that compares to this unit. So the first thing we're going to do is take a look at the dimensions of the product. The screen itself measures just over 11.5, so it's pretty close to the 11.8 inches that they mentioned on the website. The height of it measures just over 2.5, almost 3. And similar to the Arpha product, they actually have a bezel here as well, so the display surface is actually a lot smaller. The display surface on this item is 10.5 by just under 2.5. As you can see, the display surface on this unit is a lot bigger, but that is expected because this is a lot bigger of a unit. For the screen, you can see it does not have a blue tinge on it, so that's really nice to see. But it also is using an anti-glare film that I had to purchase separately. And of course, with the anti-glare film, you can see there's bubbles, so you never get it on perfect. But I have to say this anti-glare screen seems to be doing a better job, and it seems to be disrupting the image a lot. And I actually think it might be disrupting the quality of the display screen as well. As a comparison, let's take a look at how these look side by side. And you can see the anti-glare effect in the Wolfbox one is definitely a lot more than the Arpha E22. And the Wolfbox one doesn't have the blue tinge. So for the buttons, on the bottom, you have your power button. Then you have your 2 microphone inputs or caption areas. On the top, you have your USB-C power input. You have your rear camera AV input. You have your micro SD slot. Then you have your GPS antenna slot. This unit does come with a GPS antenna unit, unlike the Arpha E22. On the back, we actually have our front-facing camera, which is not adjustable. You can only adjust the angle of the view, but you can't pull it out. But you shouldn't need to do that because this is a 12-inch one and it will fit on the majority of stock mirrors. The one good thing about the Wolfbox product is that the way it attaches for its anchor points for the rubber bands are through little tabs that attach here, which can be actually unscrewed. So it gives you the ability to install this OEM bracket that you can actually purchase from Wolfbox from Amazon. So it's great. There's no customization needed. All you have to do is simply unscrew that tab, remove it, then you can screw on the new bracket. Overall, the quality of this product seems pretty good. It seems very similar to the Arpha product, and they seem like they're built to last. So what we're going to do now is go take a look at the features and functionalities of both screens and see how those compare. For the Arpha E22, you have the ability to switch from images by simply swiping left to right. Right now we're on the back view. If we swipe here, we go to the front view. One more, we go to a dual image where you can see both cameras at the same time. If you're on the full front or back view, you actually have the ability to adjust the angle of the camera by pressing the up and down arrows. On here, you have time displayed, which shows you it in 24 hours. You don't have the ability to switch that to the 12 hours, which is kind of disappointing. It has to be in military 24 hours. It also has the date. Up at the top, you have a battery indicating that this is charging. You have a GPS unit, memory, SD card. You have signal here for, I guess, vibration, WDR, and parking monitor. All those things are indicated there depending on what you have set up. At the bottom here, you have the ability to take photos by pressing that button. You also have the ability to make your content that you're capturing protected so that it can't be deleted by pressing the lock button. You also have the ability to mute so that you cannot capture any sound through the device through the microphones. In the middle is your recording button. Right now it is on because you can see it counting, but if I press it, it will stop, and if I press it again, it will start going again. The next button you have that is unique to this unit is the Wi-Fi button. If I click this, it will engage the Wi-Fi. Once engaged, I can actually connect it to my phone and I can access the content through the app on the phone. The next section I have is for all the media. You press the folder and you can see all the content that you've captured and recorded. And you can scroll down, you can play it from the screen as well. You can also delete it from here. You can either delete all or delete a current. And then the last section is settings. In here, you have a lot of unique things that can be done. You can decide if you want parking monitor on, you can set time, you can change content, lots of different things in here. You can also change the resolution. One of the cool things is the time-lapse mode. You can actually put your recording, your standard recordings in time-lapse and not just your parking. And then other information. One thing I want to mention about this screen is that because it's a 10-inch wide, it is a really good option for a Jeep JL or a Jeep JT because it will give you the ability to pull down your sun visors without contacting the mirror, unlike anything that's a little bit larger. So now let's go take a look at the Wolfbox one to see how that compares. So for the Wolfbox G840S, there are a lot of things that are very similar to the Arpha E22, but there are a few things that are a little different. Some are good and some are bad. First, let's start with the image quality or the screen quality because of the anti-glare screen protector that they've added. So on this one, as I showed before, the anti-glare film was a little bit more effective in a way at stopping the glare, but it affected the image quality just a bit. And you can see here that the image quality just looks a little bit blurry, and that is all to do with the anti-glare film. So it's kind of trying to, it's got its benefits. It stops a lot more glare than the one on the Arpha E22, but it affects the image. So there's kind of a medium ground that they need to find and the perfect balance. So a couple of differences here is over here, you have a GPS information, which gives you the direction you're facing, and it gives you the speed you're going. So that's something that the Arpha E22 does not have. Over here, they actually have their time stamp, which is actually done in 12 hours. You can switch it to 24 hours if you want, but it's good to know that you have the option to choose which one you would like to do. A little difference is they also have their branding in the software. To change images, it's a similar swiping left and right. To adjust the camera angle on the front and rear view, it's a little different. There's no arrows. All you have to do is simply drag it up and down to change that. In the settings section, a little bit different things. You have your record button first. So right now it is recording. You see the red time at the top. If I press that, it turns it off. If I turn it back on, it gets it going. Then you also have your ability to take photos, similar to the Arpha. You have the ability to lock files, also the same. You have the ability to mute and unmute the recording so it won't capture the audio. A little difference here is you have a brightness button right here. So if you press that, it brings up the brightness bar, which gives you the ability to adjust that. Arpha does have a brightness bar. I know I didn't show it, but what it is it's a bar at the top that if you click it, you simply just drag it and it will change. It's a little nicer that they have the button that's clear, because the Arpha one, at first, I didn't find it. Then they have this button here that gives you the ability to switch images without swiping. Then if you turn off the recording, you can actually open up the media file here, and you can see all the media that's been captured. And you can also play it and as well delete it, similar to the Arpha E22. The only thing that's a little different is when it is recording, you can't access that, where with the Arpha, you actually could. So here, another thing that's a little different is the settings. The settings are a lot nicer. They're a lot like app-based, really nice looking. Looks like they took a lot of design into these. But a lot of these features and stuff are similar to what's available in the offer, and you can really set it up however you'd like. So one thing to mention, one thing I mentioned is because this is a 12-inch wide mirror, it does play a role with pulling down your sun visors. When you pull your sun visor down, the sun visor will actually contact the mirror, and as a result, you actually have to move the mirror to left or right to put the sun visor down and then reposition the mirror. It's a bit of a pain in the butt, but it's definitely something that you need to know when purchasing a 12-inch mirror. This is why I recommend a 10-inch wide mirror for a Jeep JL or Jeep JT, so that you don't run into that issue. So what we're going to do now is we're going to actually move on to the last section of comparison, or last category, which is going to be the image quality and image resolution of the cameras. So let's move over to that, and we'll start with the Arpha E22.
So the first part we're going to take a look at is the field of view of the cameras. So on the rear camera here, you can see that the view looks almost the same. The only difference I really see is that on the Wolfbox G840S, the image seems to be a little closer to you. So basically, it seems like you have the same range of width that you're seeing, just seeing it at a different scale. For the front view, you can see here that the image is really close to the same as well. So it looks like that the Arpha E22 is running the same field of view as the Wolfbox G840S on both the front and rear camera. And because we can, we might as well take a look at what the dual cameras look like to see how close they are in comparison. Now we're going to compare the image quality of the screens while driving along with the image quality of the recordings for both the front and the rear camera. As you can see here, during the day, the screens seem to have the same quality. The only real difference is that with the Arpha E22, you're a little bit more zoomed out. One thing I did notice here is that the anti-glare film on the Arpha E22 is not really as good as the Wolfbox G840S, as you can see a little bit of reflection. At night, this is a different situation. With the Arpha E22, the rear camera is just capturing a lot of headlight glare, making the screen almost unusable. I also noticed that with the anti-glare film, it is definitely not doing its job, because right now you can see a lot of headlight reflection in the screen, which does not help its situation of being able to see the image. For the front recording during the day, this is where you can see that the Wolfbox G840S definitely has a higher resolution front camera. As you can see, the image is just a lot more crisp and clear than the Arpha E22. At night, this supports the fact that the Arpha E22 does not have as good as a resolution as the Wolfbox. As you can see, a lot of tail light flaring that's occurring, as well as you see this somewhat greenish tint to the image. I'm not sure why that is happening. For the rear camera during the day, both cameras have the same image resolution, so the difference is non-existent. These both look the same. They both have the same pixelation and both same fuzziness. It's really disappointing that these systems don't have higher quality rear cameras. As you can see, the Wolfbox definitely has a better quality night vision than the Arpha E22. With the Arpha E22, the headlight flaring is just unbearable and you can't really see anything. It definitely shows that the rear camera with the Arpha is just not up to its standard.
As you can see, we've now completed the comparison of the three categories, and I hope you now have a good understanding of what these two systems have to offer. To be honest, guys, I actually already filmed this part of the video, and this is the part where I give my overall thoughts and opinions about which system is better and which system I'm going to be keeping on my Jeep. Originally, I was going to go with the Arpha E22, and that was due to the fact that I did not think either of the system offered a superior performance or image quality, and because the Arpha E22 was a 10-inch wide mirror, I felt like that was a better solution for the Jeep JL. But after conducting my nighttime comparison, my opinion and decision definitely changed. But before I tell you what my decision is and why I chose it, I wanted to just let you know that this comparison video was a little unfair. And that is due to the fact that with the Wolfbox G840S system, I was actually using an upgraded camera. The reason I upgraded my camera is that I remember that the original camera that came with that system had just as much headlight glare or flaring as the Arpha E22. So I think if I had still had that camera and conducted this test, the comparison of these two systems at night would have been pretty much the same. But because Wolfbox has an assortment of accessories available on their website, I had already gone ahead and upgraded the camera to improve the nighttime driving. To test this theory, I actually took the upgraded camera and put it onto the Arpha E22. And as you can see here, the image quality was definitely improved. There was definitely a reduction of headlight flaring, and it made the system almost bearable. With that aside, I still made my decision based on the results of the three categories that we used to compare these two units. The unit that I think is a little more superior and the unit that I'm going to be keeping on my Jeep for now is the Wolfbox G840S. And there are three main reasons that I chose this unit. The first reason is because of the image quality at night. As we saw in the video, the Arpha E22 just does not have a good enough quality camera to deal with nighttime driving. As we saw, there was an extreme level of headlight flaring occurring in the mirror, which made it almost unusable. Where with the Wolfbox and the upgraded camera, the headlight flaring was minimal and you could still use that mirror at night. The next reason has to do with the overall system of the mirror. What I found is that the Wolfbox system is a little bit more up to date. It's a little bit smoother and it's a little bit more user friendly, where I feel like the Arpha E22 is using an older system and it's a little bit chunky and clunky. The last reason actually has to do with the anti-glare film. Even though the Wolfbox unit did not come with an anti-glare film and I had to go purchase it, I still find that the film they have used is a better quality and better suited for a Jeep. The reason I say that is because when you are opening the top on a Jeep or the windows, there's a lot of sunlight glare that hits the mirror. And if you don't have a good anti-glare surface on that mirror, then you won't be able to see what's actually occurring on the screen. Overall, both these units are really good units and they have great value for the price point. I can't really recommend one over the other, and that is mainly due to the fact that, as you saw in this video, both units have things they do well, and then both units have things they do really poorly. To be honest, I really wanted the Arpha E22 to be the unit that I decided to go with today, and that was mainly due to the fact that it's a 10-inch wide mirror, and I felt like that size is better suited for the Jeep JL, and the fact that it had the Wi-Fi app. But because of the issue it has with its rear camera at night, it just wasn't the best solution for my need. So guys, at this time, I am going to wrap this video up. I hope that you enjoyed this video and found it very informative. For anybody looking to purchase either of these units, I will put links below so you can go check them out for yourself. For anybody who is already looking at both these units and was having trouble deciding which one to go with, I hope that this video helped you make a decision. For myself, I actually think both these units still have a major flaw, and that has to do with the rear view camera. I find that the camera just does not have the image resolution that is required for this type of system, so I'm still on the hunt to find the perfect solution or system that fits my needs. What that means is that I'm going to continue this mini series until I find the unit that fits my needs the best. Luckily, because I've already started this, I actually have a few brands already approaching me to review their systems, so I'll be posting those in the near future. In fact, the next system that I'm going to be reviewing is a little different than the last two ones I've done. The next one actually has a separate front-facing camera, and for anybody who has the adaptive cruise control in their Jeep, that is going to be the system that you want, because any of these integrated front-facing cameras would not be able to see around the system that sits in the top of the windshield. Before I finish this video, I do want to thank Arpha for sending me their product, because without them sending me that, I would not have been able to create this comparison video to give this information to all my viewers. If anybody has any further questions about this two units and the comparison, or about the Arpha E22, feel free to post them below and I'll do the best to answer them. As usual, guys, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share. And guys, keep evolving, and we'll see you guys on the next video.